Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 3, and we have Mekk-Knight on the right versus Tri-Spright on the left. And we do see Mekk-Knight get to go first here. They were made to go first after losing the die roll. You kind of have to expect that when playing Mekk-Knight, right? Especially if other people in the room know you're on Mekk-Knight. It's pretty commonplace and has been for a while to make them go first, and in more recent times, hope they don't open Gearsu. And if they indeed do open Gearsu like we saw here, hope you have something like Imperm for it. And he, in fact, did have the Imperm for it. So we're going to see Mekk-Knight set a card and pass. We'll see Sprite try lead with a copy of Starter into blue, into Carrot, into Normal Summon Kit. There's that Tri-Brigade engine there. Special Summon Jet to go ahead and search a copy of Smashers. Going to go ahead and overlay both the Kit and the Jet into Gigantic Sprite effect, detaching Kit. This will go ahead and resolve here, so both players now locked into level link rank 2s. We're going to see him now activate the effect of Kit Engraved to go ahead and dump Nerval. Nerval to add a copy of Fractal. And we do see the Gigantic summon out a copy of the Karas. So be interested to see if we can, get an OTK here out of our Sprite player. It's one thing, too, like if you're going to make Mekk-Knight go first game 1, and you have that knowledge, it's pretty advantageous to be able to try to OTK or put up a really strong board if you aren't able to OTK, because you're probably going to be setting up a lot of potential columns, especially a deck like Sprite that can flood the field with a bunch of monsters, creating a bunch of potential columns, right? Kind of something you have to be mindful of. So now we're going to see Fractal in hand. Go ahead and dump a copy of Kit. Probably trying to load up the graveyard for some fodder for a potential Revolt, as well as being able to go for something like maybe Bearbrum to get said Revolt. So we're going to go ahead and see him link off the blue and the Gigantic into a copy of Elf. And then we're going to see Elf effect here. No, we're going to see the Karas activating, banishing 2, Kit and Nerval to go ahead and summon. Looking at double Dragon Lords. Could go for the Bearbrum. I think those are really the only... And I guess Farraget's also another option, but doesn't really make the most sense here. So we're going to see him go for the Bearbrum. And then we're going to see him link off the Bearbrum and the Carrot into Pit Knight early. Very new Link 2 card. That is very advantageous for, these Sprite Tri-Brigade hybrids. It's pretty much the only version of Sprite that I see Pit Knight early in. I think I've seen it in Pure Sprite maybe one other time. Not only is it another body to go into to get your Bearbrum into the grave, be able to resolve that effect to search the Revolt like we're seeing here, but it also allows you to turn your Elf into another form of interruption. So we're going to see the Elf bring out Kit. Kit's going to go ahead and bring out double Dragon Lords. And then we're going to see the double Dragon Lords send off the Kit to bounce the Gearsu and then swing in with everything else, dropping his opponent down to 2,300. 16 from double Dragon Lords, 12 from Karas, 14 from the Elf, and I believe 15 from early. We're going to see him go ahead and set 2 here. Can't help but make at least 1 column with the end board. And 2 columns here, technically, because the 1 set card in the opponent's field already, and then the Karas and the set card beneath it, creating another column. So we're going to see him summon out a copy of Purple Nightfall, since there is an open zone and a column with 2 cards already in it. We're going to see Sprite Smashers getting activated in response to the summon of Purple Nightfall. And then in response to Smashers, we're going to see him activate World Legacy Secrets, or Whispers, which would negate any spell on the opponent's field that would activate in the same column as a Mekk-Knight monster you control. Also can give, I believe, a level 5 or higher monster you control 1,000 additional attack, I think, until the end of the turn. Interesting that we're seeing Smashers activated on summon. I feel like you at least wait until the purple attempts to activate, since it doesn't banish this cost. Pretty sure it doesn't. It's been a long time since I played Mekk-Knight. And then we're going to see a Chainlink 3 double Dragon Lords targeting the secret, or the Whispers. I keep getting it confused with secrets, but it's Whispers. So double Dragon Lords target Whispers to bounce. Chainlink 4, Purple Nightfall effect to banish itself until the next standby, and add a Mekk-Knight. One card left in hand here for our Tri-Spright player, and I believe it's Ash Blossom. So we may see him just go ahead and fire the Ash here, because if he doesn't, once this whole chain resolves, there'll be nothing on field for Smashers to banish, essentially making it just resolve without effect. Kind of a waste of a card almost. Actually not even sure how that would play out, to be totally honest. Unless Smashers can banish anything on the field, then he'd be forced to banish one of his own cards. But we're going to see Ash in response to the purple, and that will basically allow Smashers to banish the purple. With him not getting a search, we're going to see him normal summon another Girsu. Well, not another Girsu. I believe it's the same Girsu that he bounced back with the DDL the turn prior. And it looks like on summon of the Girsu, we could see Mekk-Knight early. But I think that would probably miss timing, if I'm being totally honest. Because I think Mekk-Knight early would have to happen on a new chain, or I don't know if it happens directly in response. I think it would, because it is a quick effect. But either way, we're going to see him resolve Girsu. It is going to go ahead and send the World Legacy World Gauntlets, I think. And then on resolution of that, before you can go ahead and summon the token, we're going to see Revolt fire off here. It looks like in response to the token effect, we're going to see Revolt go. And it'll bring out Shurigg. And it looks like it's going to be Chainlink 1 Shurigg, Chainlink 2 Nerval. Nerval will go ahead and add Kit. And Shurigg will banish Girsu. I see a Monster Reborn in hand for our Mekk-Knight player. I also see what I think is either a Terraforming or it could be a World Legacy Succession. We're going to see him activate the Monster Reborn, targeting the World Legacy World Gauntlet. And I believe this has an effect when it is special summoned or normal summoned. Looks like in response, we're going to see Mekk-Knight early to bring out, or not Mekk-Knight early, the Sprite Elf to bring out blue. And I can only imagine he's chaining early to that to negate his effects and drop it to 0 attack. So that will negate the effect of World Legacy World Gauntlet. I think it's Gauntlet. I have to look this up now. It's been a very, yeah, World Legacy World Armor. Part of me wanted to say Armor. I don't know why. I would have been right the first time if I would have just gone with my instinct. But either way, now we're going to see him link off that Girsu token and the World Legacy World Armor into Dark, the Dark Charmer Gloomy. And we're going to see him activate Dark. Dark is going to go ahead and steal a Sprite Jet out of the opponent's graveyard. And thanks to Girsu's token, we do have a free column now with the Elf and the Girsu token. We can summon out Mekk-Knight of the Yellow Star. And then we're going to see him link off Yellow Star and Jet into a copy of Lina, the Light Charmer Lustrous. Looks like we're probably just going to see an access code line here, but I don't think it's going to get him very far since there is just a lot of stuff going for our Sprite player right now. And yeah, just destroying the Shurigg will give him a little bit of follow-up, and you can't clear everything here. He will banish a Light and a Dark to pop both the Shurigg and the Mekk-Knight early, which does have a graveyard effect too. We're going to see Shurigg activate here, and this can go ahead and search either a DD Crow or a Nerval. Looks like it's going to go grab the Nerval for follow-up, and then we're going to see our Mekk-Knight player admit defeat there, realizing his opponent has too much follow-up, and his turn is pretty much over at that point. So we will see the Sprite deck go first here in Game 2. No surprise, Mekk-Knight wanting to go second. It has pretty much always been a blind second deck for as long as I can remember. One of the weak points of the deck, just the nature of all the Mekk-Knight cards, needing columns, and you know, if you do decide to go first, it's about having good, consistent engines that can create you columns, or you just, you know, decide to go second all the time, which, as we saw in Game 1, doesn't always work out, right? But, I mean, if you're going to play Mekk-Knight, you just got to be ready for those kind of things and build your deck accordingly. So we will see Sprite go first here. Normal summoning Nerval, linking it into a copy of Almirage, and then the Nerval will trigger to go ahead and add a copy of Fractal. So Not the greatest opening here. We're going to see him set another card and pass. There's a Lightning Storm to hit the back row. It's just a bluff, and that of Draco back. And then we're going to see Mekk-Knight set a card, summon out blue. Attempt to go ahead and search one. That's going to get hit with an effect failure. Yeah, very, very unfortunate opening for our Tri-Spright player there. That's got to be one of the worst openings in the books. Just linking a Tri-Brigade into Almirage and just passing there and hoping you can survive the turn. We're going to go ahead and see a World Legacy Memory, bring out a Girsu to go ahead and send. Or he did not send off, it looks like. He just goes ahead and links it into Morningstar. Morningstar discarding the World Armor to go ahead and search a copy of World Legacy Secrets. This is one of the better trap cards that Mekk-Knights have access to. It's not a Mekk-Knight spell or trap. It's a World Legacy trap, but the Mekk-Knight link, Morningstar, has the ability to be able to search those cards by discarding on summon. And it's basically a Monster Reborn, and it also negates any monster effect that activates in the same column as a Mekk-Knight. We're going to see him summon out Red Moon, and swinging with Red Moon and the Morningstar for 4,300 damage, and pass turn there. 2 set. One we know to be a World Legacy Secrets, which could put in some work here, but he does not have access to Indigo in the grave or on field, so it's going to take a little value away from a card like that. Normally, Indigo is what applies more pressure because it has the ability to move itself and other Mekk-Knights into different columns to be able to turn a what would be one monster negate into multiple. We're going to see our Tri-Spright, almost said Splite, which I guess I still would have been correct technically, but normal summon Kit, special summon blue, blue effect. In response, we're going to see Secrets activate, bringing out blue to negate the blue sky negating blue. Interesting. And then we're going to see him summon Shureg, and he has to summon Shureg there in a zone that a Mekk-Knight is already in, so he will not be able to resolve the effect here because of the Morningstar is in the other EMZ, and the Red Moon has been strategically placed in the same column as the opponent's EMZ, making it so that whatever he summons there will not be able to resolve its effect so long as it can't deal with the Red Moon beforehand. And, yeah, so Kit already being exhausted, bringing out the Shureg while you still can, because once he goes for a gigantic play, Tri-Brigade links, or Tri-Brigade names will be able to apply slightly less pressure. We're going to see him summon out Mannequin-Cat now, overlaying blue and Kit. And it's been a long time since I've seen Mannequin-Cat. It says once per turn you can detach a material from this card, then target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon to your opponent's field. If a monster or monsters is special summoned to your opponent's field while you control this monster, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, special summon one monster with the same type or attribute from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So he's going to go ahead and make his opponent bring out the World Legacy World Armor, which is a dark monster, allowing Mannequin-Cat to target it to bring out a copy of Sprite Jet. And Jet was also summoned in the same column as Morningstar. He could have summoned it in the same column as the World Legacy World Armor, because that is the only open column that he could have summoned to that doesn't have a Mekk-Knight in it right now. I think that was a little bit of a misplay there. People tend to make these sort of zoning mistakes quite a bit against Mekk-Knight. It just tends to happen. Especially if you're not used to playing against the deck or you haven't played against a long time, it just can be a very easy thing to forget. But it looks like he already has Smashers in hand, which is definitely nice, but you can tell he wanted to go after that copy of Starter and now does not have access to it. And it's going to be a little bit harder to apply pressure right now without it. Smasher's only capable of doing so much here, and he also has an impermanent hand too, so just a couple interruptions. Might not be enough though. Once Mekk-Knights get established, we're going to see him go Shureg over Red Moon for 700 damage. And Mannequin-Cat has 2,000, the same as Morningstar, but that column mechanic going to come in clutch here because Morningstar has a continuous effect that says any Mekk-Knight that battles, any Mekk-Knight cannot be destroyed by battle, and you also take no damage from those battles unless the monster they're being attacked by is in the same column as a Mekk-Knight, right? A little confusing at first, but yeah, you basically, if you want to destroy a Mekk-Knight by battle, the monster you're attacking with has to be in the same column as a Mekk-Knight, and Mannequin-Cat was not. And yeah, our Tri-Spright player is going to realize it's going to be a little too hard to come back from that there, so we are into a game 2. Or game 3, rather. Game 3 situation where Mekk-Knight will be made to go first. Memory into purple, into Girsu. Girsu gets impermed. Although Girsu getting impermed there doesn't hurt as much. Mainly because he's Mekk-Knight locked because of memory, so he cannot even summon the tokens. He gets to dump the War Legacy World Armor, which isn't doing anything unless he has, like, Monster Reborn already in hand. So maybe the imperm wasn't totally necessary there. Probably would have just been better to imperm the Purple Nightfall. But we will see our Mekk-Knight player go ahead and set 3 alongside activating Key, which can stop trap cards. We're going to see him normal summon Karis, special summon out Jet, go for Gigantic. And we're going to see him activate Memory. Does he have the secrets to go alongside of it? And you have to activate Memory now, because once the Gigantic resolves, no Mekk-Knights are going to be able to hit the field, and that is definitely rough. I just need to double check something about Purple Nightfall as well. Yeah, Purple Nightfall does not banish for cost. That's what I wanted to double check. I don't remember it banishing for cost. I just wanted to double check. It'd be kind of bonkers if it did. And we're going to see a different Dimension Ground get chained in response to the World Legacy Memory as well. So now any monster hitting the grave this turn is going to be banished instead. And I believe Ixie's materials do not count as monsters. So I remember this ruling came up for me when I was playing against one of my friends who was playing Sprite, and he DDG'd me, and something that I detached I thought would get banished, but apparently they don't. Somebody can probably confirm that for me in the comments. I don't know how much of a difference it will make here. I mean, it makes Starter or Smashers a little less useful since he doesn't have a Sprite now in grave when he technically could have. So it looks like he's going to go ahead and summon out Jet. Or Blue, rather, and then we're going to see in response to Blue, activating Purple to go ahead and search out a copy of Blue. Blue Sky, that is. There's 2 blues in either deck here. Got to make sure I distinguish which one is which. We have a Sprite Blue and a Mekk-Knight Blue Sky. So we're going to see Blue, Sprite Blue, add Red, not Red Moon, Sprite Red, and then we're going to see Purple Nightfall go ahead and add Mekk-Knight Blue Sky. So Sprite under DDG, which honestly, I've seen Sprite deck side DDG themselves, so I don't really see how that's going to be super impactful here. I think if anything, it might hinder the Tri-Brigade engine quite a bit, which, I mean, the way this hand is playing out doesn't really look like he's going for Sprite plays. We're going to see him activate Starter to take 1,000 and go ahead and bring out Carrot, and then we're going to see him overlay into Mannequin Cat, Battle Phase Mannequin Cat over top of Girsu, Gigantic attack in for 16, summon out Sprite Red, and making sure all the columns are understood between both players where everything is. And then we're going to see him set another card, unfortunately having no choice but to make a column here. And then we're going to see both purples come back in the standby phase. Just free bodies here to work with. The generate searches as well. See a copy of Called By in hand for our Sprite player. I think the other card in hand is also Nerval. The DDG definitely kind of turning off again some of those Tri-Brigade plays that could have been maybe a little bit more impactful and helped him build a bit of a better board. So maybe DDG doing something there, where maybe it might not have done something against a pure Sprite build. We'll see Purple go ahead and grab Girsu, normal summon Girsu, activate effect to Foolish. It's going to get negated by Red, sending off Mannequin Cat, so it will get destroyed. And then we're going to see him set a card, and coincidentally, this is going to go ahead and open up a column for our Mekk-Knight player to go ahead and summon out that Blue Sky. Go ahead and blue for 1. Looking at Indigo. I feel like getting Indigo in rotation at this point is pretty important. Could possibly search Indigo here and then link into the Mekk-Knight of the Morning Star. Discarding the Indigo, I felt like, you know, that was always one of the better discards for the Mekk-Knight deck, because it puts it in grave for secrets to be able to revive. Cosmic Cyclone on a set imperm. Before going any further, checking the extra deck here. Unfortunately, well, I believe there would be a potential Lib play here since he does have a memory in grave. But we're just going to see him go for a good old Morningstar effect to discard the Indigo, searching secrets, Setting it, battle phase, attacking over the gigantic and passing turn. With 2 monster negates and the ability to stop some trap cards here, which is not going to be really too impactful. But it's better than nothing. We're going to see him go ahead and start by normal summoning Tri-Brigade Karis. And then activating Karis effect, banishing Mannequin Cat and another Karis, which interestingly enough is food for Tri-Brigade cards. We're going to see him activate Secrets and Feels Bad Man. There's Called by the Grave to go ahead and hit the target for Secrets, and Memory in response, that gets hit with Ash. That is super unlucky. Very, very unfortunate. I mean, the Called by on the Secrets is one thing, but having the Memory to back it up was clutch there. That would have gave him access to another Indigo, giving him 2 more monster negates, and I think probably honestly sealing the game right there. If I'm like being totally honest, I think that Memory bringing out that Indigo, I don't think there really would have been much room for him to make a play there. But now he's going to get access to double Dragon Lords, get rid of the Morning Star, and then still have enough cards on board to be able to link into a Sprite Elf. Elf bring back blue, bring out Jet, and that is going to be the match. We're going to see Tri-Spright take it 2-1 there in a very, very close Game 3. So that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Last but not least, a big shout out goes to our Divine level channel members who are Pony Stark, Cadillacs84, Justin Lamb, and HCH Cyber. Thank you guys so much as always for showing me kind and generous support.